Yo, what it do, YouTube? It is your boy, Big Mike, back at it again for another YouTube banger, for another YouTube movie, man. Man, I hope y'all welcome home, settle in, get you some good eats, get you something nice to drink. I got my water. You got yours? Thank you so much for just making me a part of your day. Thank you so much for just kicking it with the crew, man. Just like, you know, it just means a lot. It means a lot you're gonna spend your day with me. Like, you got 24 hours. Like, you got 24 hours in a whole day. And you broke off some of that day to spend it with me. Like, that means special. That's something special to me. Thank you so much. I really love y'all. Thank y'all for tapping in with the video so much. Y'all been going so crazy. Y'all talk about crazy on the likes, man. Y'all been going crazy in the comment section, man. Keep that up, man. Keep supporting. Keep growing the crew, man. Because I can't grow if you don't click subscribe. Simple as that. Today, man, we got a very special video. A very special video. I haven't done one of these in a minute. We got the story times coming back. Little story time coming back today, yes, sir. Hey, today's story time. Oh no, wait. Before I get into this. Did you click like? Did you click subscribe? And did you hit the bell? Because if you didn't, we got a problem already, man. Like, you got a problem already, bruh. And I told you, nobody wins when the family feuds. So just go ahead and do what you gotta do, man. But we're gonna jump into the video right now. I'm not gonna hold y'all no much longer. Today we got a little story time. The story time. This is a little college story, you know. Shout out my boy Chris Leonard, that college story, you feel me? But we're gonna take it back to freshman year. Cause I know I'm still in college technically, but like not even technically like the kid. I'm still in college. This is a younger story. This is my freshman year. I'm talking about my red shirt freshman year though. I'm talking about fresh to college, Mike. A young 18-year-old whippersnapper wet behind the ear, Mike. So I'm gonna take y'all to the story, man. I'm gonna take y'all back. It's back in my freshman year. Man, this is just surviving fall camp. Like, I'm talking about that first year fall camp. Woo! Can I tell you, it was so different. But I need to give y'all a little context to the story. I gotta give y'all some background. I got here on the island June 27th, 2017. So that was back, I'm talking about, I'm a young Mike. I'm 18, I'm new to the island. I don't know Nathan, I don't know nothing. I'm trying to tell you, like, I was fresh out, boy. I'm trying to tell you, I was five, boy, fresh off the boat, boy, fresh off the plane, boy. What you talking about? I was fresh off the plane. I was just new to Hawaii. It was such a different culture to me. It was just a different change. Like, my first time living on my own. I'm in my dorm room. You know, me and my roommate, we actually got responsibilities and stuff. Like, we thought waking up at 8 o'clock was so early. Later did I know I was gonna be waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning for practice. Hey, but we're gonna get into that a little later. But so we was here since June and we were working out all through that time. And during that time, I was just like a freshman, where the freshmen kind of get acclimated. Like, you go do your little summer classes, stuff like that. Like, you just trying to find, like, you just really trying to find your way. Like, you going through your summer class. We had this thing called the Bridge Program. And hey, let me know if I got some stories about the Bridge Program, bro. My boy Jimbo Slice, man. Hey, leave in the comments if you want to hear about Jimbo Slice. I guess I got some funny stories about that guy, man. But we had this thing called the Bridge Program. That was like, it was like a place where we can go work on our homework, kind of like a study hall place. Like, it was really structured. We had tutors and stuff there. Like, it was other athletes from other teams. So it was really nice. It was just a nice way to just kind of meet other athletes as well. Try to just get, you're just trying to really just get acclimated to the school. Like, your first time living on your own. Like, that was a big thing for me. We're gonna skip a little forward into that. After the Bridge Program, we finally about to start fall camp. I'm talking about the big boy fall camp. But there was some breaking news before. Because before, I was thinking that we was gonna have 2-a-days. And right before fall camp, the NCAA passed some legislation, passed a law saying that there was gonna be no more 2-a-days. They were banning 2-a-days. So, which was good that we didn't have to practice twice a day, but it was also a negative because that meant fall camp was longer now. It went from 14 days of fall camp. Fall camp used to be 14 days. We got 28 practices. Now that's a whole month, 28 days consecutive straight. no days off, like back to back to back to back, man. Like I'm talking about like, oh, that was my first time experiencing something like that. Cause my first time in high school camp for us was like a week long. We went to California. We was over in a bus and we drove over. Everyone was like, yeah, we're going to California for a week. We got to do like certain stuff. Like we got to go to the beach. We got to go eat. We got to go out to Magic Mountain and stuff like that. But this college fall camp, it was none of that. It was no jokes and games. It was straight business. And talking about this, the big boy fall camp. This is something I never experienced before in my life. I'm talking about 6 out of 7 days of the week. Every day we got practice. I'm talking about 6 out of 7 days. Only day we got off is Sunday. And Sunday, we wasn't getting out until like 4 o'clock. Not gonna lie to you, Bob. I was not ready for that. I was not ready for the straight business at first, man. So a typical fall camp schedule looks like 5 o'clock, wake up. Go get taped, go get stretched, go to pre-practice meetings. We have to be on the field for stretch at 6:05. 6:05, practice all the way till 9. After 9, we will go get breakfast after practice, you know, and then some people will go to class. You have a 2-hour break. So from 9 to 11, we would have that time off. Then after 11, we would have lunch at 11:30. Have lunch, mandatory lunch. Everyone has to be there. Everyone has to sign in. Everyone has to check in. So after you do your check-in, after you eat lunch, you have an hour to eat lunch. Then we would have an offensive lift, and then while we're lifting, the defense would go have meetings. They would go watch the practice that we just had. And then after that, the defense would go lift, and then we would go watch the practice that we just had. Like we would go watch through, we go through the corrections, you know, stuff like that. So then after that, we would have dinner. And after dinner, we would have another set of meetings. But like that, so like the lift was about an hour, the meetings were about like 2 hours, hour and a half, just depending on your position coach, just depending on who was in there. So like if the film was good, if the film was bad, well, you're gonna be in there all of 2 hours. But if the film was good, you might get out, you might skate out of there like an hour. You might get out of there like an hour. But you always pray, that's why you want to have a good practice. Because if you had a good practice, short meetings. But if you had a bad practice, long meetings. After we have our meetings, it'll be about, dinner started at 6:30. So then we go to have dinner, 6:30. Then after dinner would last for maybe an hour. So at 7:30, bam. 7:30 to 8 o'clock, 7:30 till 8:45, we would have meetings. We'll go over the next day's install, like the next plays we want to run for tomorrow, the defensive looks we want to get for tomorrow, and then like vice versa for the defense. We trying to go score on them, they trying to stop us. But you know the offense, you know how we get down, you feel me? And after those meetings would get done, that's probably like 8:45. Then after 8:45, we would have a whole big team meeting. The whole team come together. We would do like some like it was just like kind of like a team bonding thing. Like usually, like sometimes we would have like a guest speaker will come and talk to the team, or usually like it would just be like the highs and lows of the day. Like they'll play like the best practice plays, and then like you feel me, like you were like, oh, like this guy made a big play in practice today, so like bang, we're gonna put that, like we're gonna put him up, we're gonna show him some love, stuff like that. But usually that meeting was about an hour, so we're getting out of there like 9:45, and I was in the dorm, so luckily I only had to walk up. There's some guys who had to drive all the way to the other side of the island, and then you have to wake up and then do that again, and then do that again, and then do that again for 28 days. I'm trying to tell you, I remember it was my first college practice. I never forget. I'm thinking, I was so nervous, I couldn't sleep. I remember I was like, hey, I'm gonna be a college athlete tomorrow. I'm gonna be my first practice like that. I can't wait. I just couldn't sleep. And so I finally fall asleep around like maybe like 12 o'clock. Practice is at 6. Practice starts at 6. So I had to be up at 5 because I had to get taped. I had to get stretched out. I got to get my ankles taped. I got to make sure I got to go over my plays, stuff like that. So I got to get up early. So I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm drained. I'm physically just beat. I'm like, man, this can't be serious. I gotta go practice. But I was just also so excited because it was my first day. I didn't know what to expect. So I go in there, like, I'm just like walking around like I'm a little kid, like your first day of kindergarten. I'm just cheesing and walking around. I'm like, oh, like, I can't wait for practice. And everyone's like, oh, like, here it goes. Like, hey, these young boys don't know what they're ready for. They don't know what they're ready for. And I never forget, we got done with stretch. And I never experienced Hawaii before, and I was from Arizona. There was no humidity. I'm talking about, it's a dry heat. It gets to 116 in Arizona. Best believe. I didn't play the football game in 116 degree weather, but I didn't expect this humidity. This humidity was something different. I'm talking about, you could have. The humidity the air was so thick you could probably chew it. It was so thick. Like, it was nothing I ever experienced before. And I remember right after stretch, I was already drenched. And like, anybody who knows me now, like that's nothing new. Like, I sweat a lot, but I was drenched right after stretch. Like, I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, how am I going to survive this practice? And I'm just thinking in my head, and we get to the first O-line drills, and we start doing the drills, and I throw up. I know, gross. I throw up. I'm puking everywhere. My coaches, the players are looking at me like, bro, like, we just started practice. What are you doing? Like, what? Like, I'm sitting over here. I'm like, oh, I don't know how I'm gonna make it, bro. And it was a light day because that was the first day. That was just helmets, and I was throwing up and just helmets. Like, I didn't even put any pads on yet. It was I was like, yo, how am I going to survive this? Like, that's what I'm trying to think in my head. I'm like, yo, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do, bro? So I'm like, man, I just gotta figure it out. So I started asking the trainers. I was like, I just gotta hydrate more, huh? I was like, I gotta hydrate. And it was like, yes, you gotta drink water, you gotta drink Gatorade, you gotta drink water. But I was a young freshman, and I didn't love water how I love water now. You know, make sure you got your water on you, man. I was drinking a lot of juice. I was drinking a lot of just a lot of sugary drinks, and that was bad for you. That dehydrates you, so that was bad for me. So I had to cut all that out. So I was just drinking water. But it's just like it was just kind of a lot. I was being thrown into the fire. I was a young freshman. I was supposed to be playing left tackle. I knew I wasn't gonna start at left tackle because that boy Dejon Allen, yeah, that boy number 50, that boy Big 50, he was still there. He was started every game since he was a freshman. Like, I wasn't gonna beat him out. Like, I knew that going into the season, but so I was kind of expecting a red shirt, but I didn't expect a red shirt the way I did. We're going through practice. We're just trying to go through fall camp. I'm just trying to make it through the day, bro. And I'm sitting over here. I'm like, we're just going from drill to drill, and I'm sitting over here. I'm like, oh my goodness, it can't get any hotter. But it did. It got hotter right at the end of practice, right when we're running our sprints and running our gassers. So like, the sun is all the way out now, because like when we got out there, it was pitch black. Like, we started stretch, there was no sun outside, and like, you go through practice and the sun just peeks over the mountain and peeks over the top of the dorms, and now it's just sitting on top of you. I'm talking about like a boulder just sitting on my neck, just sitting on my back. I'm like, oh my gosh, bro. I'm sitting over here, my shoes were soaked. Like, you remember the clip from Micah when his shoes were squishing? I'm gonna put it in right now just in case you missed that video. But if you did miss that video, make sure you tap it. My shoes was just like this right here, like squishing, water all out. Like, I was like, oh my goodness, man, how am I gonna make it? So we're running the sprints, and I make it. I'm just like, oh. Freshmen, they had this thing my freshman year called keiki time. Like they like, people on the island know, like, for the people who don't know, people on the mainland, like, keikis, like, those are like the little kids, like, those are like the kids. So like, those are all the freshmen. They stay and they get like extra team reps. So we was over there trying to get it in, get some extra reps, get some extra plays and stuff. But by this time, I'm already gassed. I'm talking about my shoes are mushy, I'm drenched, soaking wet, and I'm like, this is only the first day. But yeah, man, that was a tough first day of fall camp. Wow, we make it through the next day. First day of pads come, it's on and cracking. It was like, but that was the first day because like the defense was talking a lot of stuff. Like defenses always do in non-padded days. Like, they'll be thinking like, oh, this is a tackle. Like, bro, that's not a tackle. Like, cause you reached and grabbed his jersey like this, like his jersey's doing this. That's not a tackle, bro. Like, come on, that's an arm tackle. So like the first day was on popping. I'm talking about defense talking stuff, offense talking stuff, and it was my first time experiencing something like this. But it was so much fun. I'm just trying to tell you, it was on the cracking up. It was so much fun. People, I'm talking about people cussing out these people, coaches cussing out. It was so much fun. It was just a great competitive spirit. That's all it was. Like at the end of the day, you know, you shake hands because we're all brothers. We're all fighting for the same mission. We was all trying to win. It's like that. That's just competition. That's just the big dog and the other big dog. You put them in a ring and they're gonna fight and knock it out. But at the end of the day, they're gonna shake hands because we're brothers. And we trying to win a Mountain West championship. We trying to go on. We got bigger things to accomplish than fighting each other. You understand what I'm saying? So, but it was all in good spirit. But so we going in, we just keep going through the day. Finally got that week off. Finally made it to the weekend. I'm talking about Sunday. Cool, I finally get to lay back. Sunday you got off early. Sunday we got it at 4. But you know, those are the days, man. Those are the grinding days, man. But those are really the dog days of camp that you really love, because those are the days you just really get to build the camaraderie with your team. Those are the times you really love for, the times you just really cherish. Like those are the times where you really know who you can depend on in the games. Like I'm talking about you just know, like, all right, I know he's not gonna let me down. Like I understand we're both dog tired, but we gotta go. We just gotta keep pushing. We just gotta go. And those are the times you just really love for. Those are the things that build championship. Man, that was my first day of fall camp. Not gonna lie, I never forget. The worst day for me personally during that whole fall camp experience was day 14. Day 14, that was probably my worst day, because like I just remember I was so physically beat and I was so mentally beat, because I was playing so many different positions. And for me, from moving from high school to college, like I only played left tackle in high school, and they were telling me you gotta play left tackle, left guard, right tackle. Like you gotta be able to switch in and out, and you gotta know the plays at all these positions. And that was really hard for me. That was one thing I really struggled in coming in. So it was just day 14. I remember sitting on my bed, waking up 4 o'clock in the morning, and just thinking like, man, I want to go home. Man, like I just want to call my mama and just say, Mama, this might not be for me. Like I'm just like, I don't know. And I'm just sitting there scratching my head, because like it's day 14. Like I'm too far to quit. Like I made it too far to quit, but like the light on the tunnel, I can't see the light on the other end of the tunnel. I'm talking about I'm right dab smack in the middle. But like I just remember that day. I just grabbed my Bible, started praying, and then good Lord, He helped me through it, man. Those were some tough days. Those were some dark days, man. But yeah, man, that was my first fall camp experience, man. For all my other college athletes, man, write down in the comments. I'm gonna be checking. I'm gonna be looking. What was your worst day of fall camp? Like, what was your worst experience during fall camp, man? Because I feel lucky for all the guys who came in at freshman year. Last year, that Rona fall camp, that was easy. That was cake. But the real fall camp, the 28 days straight, yeah, that's that work, man. But thank y'all for coming in. Thank y'all for tapping in with this video. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Yes, sir. Make sure you do those 3 things. And Big Mike crew, we out. Hey, bro, you good? Hey.